take on Cory Steinbrueck from West Virginia, the redshirt senior, one-time NCAA qualifier.
So looking at that qualification, he qualified at 125 pounds. Now he's up to 133 for Cory Steinbrueck, the Streetsboro, Ohio native. State runner-up for the Walsh Jesuit Warriors in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, North Akron, Ohio. And Steinbrueck trying to get back to that NCAA tournament as a senior.
We are underweight 133 pounds. Again, it's a 4-0 lead for Pittsburgh after the first match. Inside single attempt here for Steinbrueck. Trying to come out through the back door.
He's got to be patient here. He's trying to hook that down leg as he just did. He's trying to stretch Ross's leg out, almost like not hyperextend it, but straighten it and hook it with his right leg and then work through the back door as you said there.
Steinbrueck just trying to settle in a little bit. Ross has to watch his own back. He tries to hang on around the waist.
I think he's going to get the stalemate here. Ross hanging tough, and there it is. Sammy Henson not liking that stalemate call out on the mat.
I think he had enough time to improve his position, Steinbrueck, and he was not able to do it.
You got to do it. I mean, there is another shot. This one's head outside this time in the crackdown position.
Ross once again just trying to hang on. Steinbrueck just has to get his arm up around the waist, and he'll get the two.
Trying to cut across. Got his body split right now.
Much better position though for Steinbrueck this time around. Ross in some trouble.
Steinbrueck got to stick with this one, swim that right arm through, come across to his hip. And like you're saying, Ross in trouble, and there's the two takedown.
And now Ross wants to try to hit a switch here off a sitting position. We'll get a stalemate.
And looking at it, Steinbrueck been on two really clean shots, and I think that's the biggest thing in college wrestling is not stopping. It's almost like he's hitting the shots and not exploding through them. And if we're going to watch Tayshan today, Tayshan does not stop. He blows through people like a freight train.
Ross trying to get up to his feet. Nice power ride for Steinbrueck. Wants to try to get a leg in. Does briefly, but Ross able to kick it out, and now gets up to his feet. And a nice Grand Bureau attempt for Ross, and now turning into Steinbrueck.
Steinbrueck strapped the cradle up, got to crack him to his hip here. Once he cracks him to his hip, he's able to put him in criteria for near fall. Ross seems like he's in actually pretty good position here. And Steinbrueck's not going to be able to take him over, and he's going to reverse him, actually.
And that's going to tie the match up at 2.
Steinbrueck was in great position, and then he went to his hip. You can't go to your hip, unless you're going to try and go blind roll through with it. And he didn't have any follow through with that one. Stop, gets reversed. Now he's looking for a reversal, trying to catch that hip. Catches the leg, got to jump his hips over. Short time here, inside of 20 seconds at 15 now.
Ross wants to just try to go through the crotch and just hold on here.
Ross doing a really nice job of keeping him at bay, not giving up any points here in this position 3 times. And he's going to hang on to it and not give up the reversal.
Nice funk roll there for Ross as we see the reversal to tie the match at 2.
So he's got that cradle locked up, right? And now he's going to go to his hip. Can't go to your hip. Ross pops his head, comes out, 2 reversal.
Steinbrueck will go on the bottom to begin the second period. Tied up at 2.
Riding time, not a factor, 5 seconds for Steinbrueck right now. Ross going to try and put a hard ride on him here. Keep him down, run his advantage time up over a minute, and now we're in another scramble again.
Yeah, drop down on his own hip that time in. Steinbrueck just wants to kind of sit into Ross. Ross seems to be in that position a lot. Steinbrueck will get the reversal.
Catches a cross wrist there on his right side. Ross's left arm, and Ross might be in a little bit of trouble here. swims the arm out, right boot comes in, and we got a crossbody ride for Steinbrueck on top now.
Ross is trying to roll through and turn into Steinbrueck.
There, he's going to catch him. Going to catch him, looking for it. Looking for it. You know what? Ross seems real comfortable here.
Just tries to push in and has to get one of the two free, his arm or his leg. Trying to get higher. And we end up getting a stalemate.
This is like Thanksgiving dinner. A lot of rolls. A lot of rolls. They are, they're comfortable though. Like both guys seem very comfortable with all the rolling around. I can tell you personally, not big into the rolling around because it is, it takes a lot of energy. And you're not in control. You know, some guys can feel the control there. A lot of guys can't. And these guys seem to feel pretty in control with the rolling around situation. As we say it, Ross tries to roll and stuffs his head in the mat.
It's flattened out in the process, and the leg come back in for Steinbrueck. Getting back into a similar position.
And the riding time is at 55 seconds and almost at a minute for Steinbrueck with 20 seconds remaining in the second period.
Ross turns in, wants to get the reversal here.
Steinbrueck effectively has a single leg as Ross tries to kick out short time inside of 10 now.
He's got to work up the body or he's going to get hit with a stalling call. Does Steinbrueck. Still has 4 seconds to go. He will be able to do so and end the period here at 4-2.
So big ride, 1:18 ride time on the board now for WVU's Cory Steinbrueck and a 4-2 lead. And Ross gonna go underneath to start the third.
You like the decision to go underneath?
You know what? With all the rolling, you're losing. What do you really? I mean, yes, I like that. I think it's a good decision. It's a sound coaching decision by Sammy Henson. Or check that by Coach Peters.
Trying to get that leg in again is Steinbrueck.
He's got double boots in and flattens Ross out. This is a tough position to come out of.
Looking for the tilt, and he's going to get a 2 count. Is it 2 separate or is it 2 total?
You're saying like 2 1s or
It
two,
looks like it's
a
gonna be
1
2
and a 1?
ones.
He's not holding any 2s there, huh?
It looks like it's going to be a 1 and a 1.
Oh, wow. So that's not going to be any near fall there. That changes. That would have iced the match, in my opinion.
Right. Ross would need a big move to come back then, but now just looking for that reversal or an escape with a takedown, and he's close to getting one here if he could just get free, but somehow Steinbrueck able to force a stalemate.
I don't know how that was a stalemate call, but Steinbrueck was up. Ross had his foot. Felt like that one could have run a little bit longer, but we get a break. 1:14 remains. 2:04 of ride time. So, in 8 seconds, the riding time point will be locked up for Cory Steinbrueck.
Ross trying to get up to his feet. Back down, trying to get attacking the leg of Steinbrueck. Steinbrueck wants to try to throw a second leg in. Has one in now.
Almost looks like he's figure fouring the body there, but it looks like it's a scissors. He's just keeping the foot below the knee.
And stalemate comes.
Next one will be a stall warning on Steinbrueck. God, you'll have to return him. Yeah, you got to return him to the mat.
Caution on Steinbrueck. His first. Ross is going to have to come up with a big move here from the bottom.
Reversal to backs, which we totally have seen. He's had an opportunity to do a couple times.
We'll get an escape. So it'll make it 4-3. He's going to give up the ride time point. Gets in on a single. He's got to finish to try to tie this matchup.
Effectively on the board, it's 4-3, but it's actually 5-3.
Close to the takedown was Ross. Good adjustment by Steinbrueck. And Ross just trying to spin around behind again. Steinbrueck, though, fights it off. 15 seconds remaining. And now Steinbrueck close to a takedown.
5 seconds. Steinbrueck on a single.
He's going to stay right there. Actually, they'll give him a takedown right as the buzzer sounds. So a takedown and the ride time point will make it a 7-3 win for Steinbrueck.
So WVU gets on the board. It's going to be 4-3 after 133 going into 141 here. And this is what I'm talking about. You have rivalry.
West Virginia now has a 6-4 lead against Pittsburgh.
Here's the situation. They go to a crackdown position here. He's always trying to reverse him here. He hooks that down leg, swims his right shoulder through, has the body split, comes back across, cross face, catches it, 2 takedown, 2 reversal, wins the bout.
One of the key matches we talked about in the Open. Coming up here at 149 pounds. Mikey Racciato, the senior for Pittsburgh, taking on Christian Monserrat, a redshirt sophomore for West Virginia. Monserrat 7-2 this year. Racciato 5-5. And we are underway. Monserrat quickly going after Racciato. Racciato, one of those funk wrestlers, though, a guy who can really roll through a number of things, and we'll see him try to attempt the funk roll here early.
And this is exactly what you're talking about. You know, the funk rolls. Monserrat fires off a shot, gets him, puts him on his hip, 2 takedown. Now he straps up a cradle, but Machado able to break the cradle. And here's where he kind of earns his living, rolling around.
Be dangerous at the same time. Monserrat was able to keep position to get that original 2. Now he's got a leg in and just wants to try to tilt him back. Monserrat been a surprise this season for Sammy Henson. He's wrestled a lot of good matches. Mentioned he's a hard worker, has a great attitude in the room, and it's great to see him having success here this season.
New England guy from Massachusetts, not like Pennsylvania, Ohio, New Jersey, you know, the wrestling rich tradition states. New England, not known for its wrestling, but Monserrat, one of those guys trying to put New England on the map.
2-12-2 was his high school career from Mathian High School in Massachusetts. 4-time state champion. 8-6 was his record last year as a freshman. Look about on the other side, Racciato from Penn Argyl here in PA, 149-4 in his high school career, 2-time state champion, also a 2-time NCAA qualifier and 1-time ACC champion. So a guy who not only had a great high school career, but also has been established here in the college level. Escape for Racciato.
Racciato has had flashes of brilliance, as I like to call it, in his college career. You're saying ACC champ, he's pretty good.
He's got a headlock here, and he's going to take Monserrat to his back.
He's squeezing hard, looking for the fall here. Monserrat in big trouble. Racciato looking to put the hips on him here, squeezing him hard here.
Not only does he pop his head free, but now Monserrat's going to pick up a reversal of his own.
And after that exchange, it's going to be 7 for Racciato. He gets a big 6-point move. 2 takedowns, 4 near fall, but Monserrat keeps wrestling to the position, fights off his back, and gets a reversal on the situation. 32 seconds remains in the period.
Racciato back underneath. Ride time at 1:25 so far for Monserrat. We get a stalling call. Monserrat is first. Machado, one of those guys, last year, Coach Peters mentioned he had to get better from the bottom position. Seeing him struggle a little bit here in this matchup. Coach Peters said he has been better this year on bottom. He's only been rode 1 time this season by Zane Rutherford, who is returning NCAA champion. But he's seen Racciato do better from the bottom position.
10 seconds left in the first period. Looks like Monserrat's going to be able to hold him there and run his ride time to about 1:48 here. And that could be the difference here. It's 7-4 on the board, but effectively 7-5 if you count the ride time point.
Right. Still plenty of time, too. Racciato had that big headlock, though, that puts 6 points on the board, and here it is.
Great fight by Monserrat to come off his back there, man. He was squeezing him tight.
He just had great position with his hips and a nice bridge right there to force himself up and then back across as Monserrat's going to start the second period on the bottom, and he'll get an escape. So that'll make it 7-5.
When you watch Machado, it's always something new that's going to happen, and it's usually pretty fun what's going to happen. You know, stuff like that, big headlocks, ripping headlocks, scrambling, unconventional stuff all around.
Inside single shot here for Monserrat.
I mean, look at this. What is this?
Trying to force him back, looking for another big move.
That's Rachado's move.
Monserrat, though, is going to be able to stay in good position. He'll get the takedown, and he's going to tie this match up at 7.
I think it's really easy. I think almost Machado baits some of these positions, lets you get a deep shot so he can try funky things like that. And that one obviously didn't pay off, but he had him in some danger there for about 5 or 10 seconds.
50 seconds remaining here in this period. Machado will have choice to begin the third. He's not really fared well here from the bottom position. If he gets rode for the rest of this period, it'll be interesting to see what he decides to go with. As I say that, he's able to hit a roll and get out for one.
Over under here, he's pretty good from here. So if you're Monserrat, you want to avoid this position. And he is. He's backing up, giving territory, but he has a stall warning. So if Rachado's able to shoot him off, he'll get a point for stalling.
Tries to force up inside. And we get a stalemate with just 10 seconds left in the second.
What's your call here? Top, bottom, neutral?
I'm thinking because of the fact, even with the ride time point, it'll make it 8-8. I would imagine he's going to go underneath. We'll see what they decide to do here. Machado will go on bottom. Trying to hold on as long as he could. Wanted to, as you said, it's a Machado move. Just couldn't quite get it finished, and Monserrat was able to pick up the takedown.
So here we go. Machado underneath. The ride time is all but guaranteed here for Monserrat, but Machado out right away, going to make it 9-7.
And if you're Monserrat, you know going into this, you're only going to get a tied match if you rode him for 2 minutes. So with someone wrestling unconventional like Machado, you might as well give up that point and see if you can get the takedown. He's already got a pair of them here in this match.
Shoots into an underhook there. Counter by Machado.
Shot attempt. Machado almost able to spin around behind. Monserrat able to adjust. Now an inside single attempt. Wants to come out the back door. Machado right now hanging on with around the ankles.
One minute left in the third here.
Stalemate.
Those aren't going to get it done. He needs a takedown ride out here. Does Monserrat.
Shot attempt, a stalling call on Machado, his first. If Monserrat can push the pace and pick up another stall and a penalty point, that would tie the match.
Both guys have been warned for stalling at this point. He's got a body lock here. And he's trying to lock it.
Tries to go towards a front headlock, and Machado was looking to spin behind but was unable to do it, and now back up into the same position. 25 seconds to go. Shot by Monserrat. Front headlock applied from Machado. Now an underhook and a drag-by attempt from Monserrat. It's almost like a last-ditch effort, and Machado able to get on top.
And 10 seconds left here, and it looks like Mike Machado is going to ride out for the win here. 11-8, catches him on his back briefly. Machado come back around, collects him, going to pick up an 11-8 win here for Mikey Machado. He gets on the right side of things here, goes above 500 there with that win.
So Rashad,
They win this dual meet.
and it's very possible at 197, Jake Smith, ranked in the top 10 in the nation.
If you want to know what a 197 pounder should look like, look at Smith. Because he's a big 197 pounder. As he punches a underhook up to a single, goes to trip, looking for almost like a cradle there. 2 takedowns. Smith, your number 7 ranked wrestler in the country, going for a turn right away for WVU. As he's got a power half, and there's a lot of pressure on the shoulder of Parker there.
Yeah, they need to be able to get this fall to get back into the match. And then the pressure will come on the heavyweight for West Virginia.
A freshman looking for his first win.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened, though. I've said it. Throw records out the window in these rivalry matches. Parker with a Granby off the mat. Smith remains on top.
Smith, 5-3 this year. Redshirt junior, 2-time NCAA qualifier, 58-23 over his last 2 years. Went to George Washington High School, a 2-time state champ. And Coach Henson mentioned he is expecting Smith to show he is one of the best in the country at this weight class.
He surrenders the neutral takedown. In on another shot of Smith. He's looking for that standing cradle off the single again. Doesn't get it. Gets another takedown. 4-1 lead Smith, and he looks dominant here. Parker looks pretty overmatched. Smith got a pretty fun style here. He likes to attack. And like you said, Henson, he likes this guy.
Got the legs in right now and trying to work on the head. I'm just looking to cross face over, and he's going to pick up back points here.
Just goes head and arm, pulls it back into his left. Cranks power half right side in transition there. He looks like he could ease the fall here. Got to adjust his hips, does Smith. He's got Parker in some trouble here. 1 minute to pick up the fall, and there it is. A quick fall called, the second one of the bout. First one for West Virginia, Pitt with the other one, and we, mathematically, it comes down to the heavyweights here. That makes it 20-15. Still Pitt's advantage, and here is him cranking that power half. Smith looking for the fall, and a quick fall call. Watch this fall call, how quick it is.
As soon as that shoulder blade hits down,
boom.